to 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. It's actually a great day. We have a whole lot to look at on the show this morning, where from handball, football, basketball, and also look at some European top games on yesterday. That is the UEFA Champions League surprising result. Coming up for the first time, we are seeing a different format of the UEFA Champions League, and also we look at the NBA is getting bigger and bigger as usual with the NBA. We look at a story, and also we look at tennis, these and many more on the show. But before we get into the deal of the show, let's quickly take match day 9 of the Nigerian Premier Football League highlights. Goals scored on match day 9 in the Nigerian Premier Football League. That highlight comes to your screen right now, and we'll be right back. Just enjoy a tidbit of those beautiful and fantastic goals in the Nigerian Premier Football League. We will be right back. Welcome back. Those are games for match day 9. Let's go straight to Ethiopia, where the men's handball under 18 men's handball competition is ongoing. The IHF, that is International Handball Federation, the continental engagement. Nigeria is doing so well that particular competition in Ethiopia. Just yesterday they defeated Cameroon in the semi-final, and now they will be facing Guinea in the final of this particular competition. They defeated that's the coach Emeka Namani team defeated Cameroon 44-33 goals in that particular game. It was actually a hard-fought semi-final game played in Addis Ababa, and then Nigeria will play Guinea later on today in this afternoon. At in the final right there in Ethiopia. Wilfred, welcome to 360 Sports on Trust TV. Now let's start with handball before we go to football. Another story. Yes, the same rules that apply. The same rules that apply to handball, some of it is different from what we see with football. They say handball, and definitely, if you commit a foul in football with your hand, that means you are going to be penalized. Yeah. So the same thing in handball, though there are some cases. I think the goalkeeper for handball also is permitted to use his leg to defend. But this time around, that aside, our team, under 18 team, I think they are doing well, getting to the final, even beating our neighbors, Cameroon, 44-33 in that game. They scored 44 goals. Fantastic one. They are already, as we speak, they will be playing that final against Guinea this afternoon.
Well, first of all, a very beautiful midweek morning to you, Mr. Fash. The guys are doing fantastically well, defeating Cameroon with that huge goal margin of 44 and 33. And also not forgetting they are the continental first defending champions, so they know what that trophy means to them, and they know what that actually means to their personalities. And I think they're out there to ensure that they defend the title. They won some years ago, and I think with what we've seen so far, I think Guinea will not be any different from the previous achievement, and I think in the end, they have the trophy home.
Okay, you made mention of that. Yes, they are the defending champions. Over the years, we've seen handball in Nigeria in the 90s, 80s, 70s. Handball also have the same recognition that football has back then. But all of a sudden, some of these are sports that we used to do well on the continent and even on the global stage. All of a sudden, some of these sports we started dwindling, and it's as if we no longer hold our own when it comes to this sport. This handball. I remember then when I was in primary school, my dad is somebody who loves sports, so I used to enjoy some of this game, handball. Then we have Julius Berger in Lagos. So these are some of the things, when you are in Lagos, it's a center of sports. Yeah. So you must follow.
A center of everything.
A center of everything. You must follow all of this. But we've seen this paradigm shift when it comes to some of these sports, where by now Nigeria should have been a very strong contender in those sports. What must have cost us going back?
Well, as I've always said, Nigeria is a big country, the giant of Africa, a country that is recognized all over the world and is blessed with a huge talent in different, field of discipline, different varieties of sport. But then, some of these sports, at some point, the people started, growing a disillusion towards them because of a lack of, welfare, lack of proper management, and some administrative issues that were beyond control and the ordinary. So, and I think the new administration has actually brought in a lot of changes. Especially considering the recently revamp and rejuvenation of National Sport Commission. So that has actually spoken so well of them, and I think is an additional motivation to all areas of sport. So handball is no exception, and I think is one aspect that we're looking forward to seeing again on the global stage. And then to other sport, I think we're blessed. We just need the motivation, and I think it's what the commission is on course to do, and we hope everything bounce back better.
Okay, everything bounced back better. The man at the helm of affairs, Malam Shehu Diko, has also said retreated his commitment to take Nigerian sports back to his glory days and even do better. He's a man full of wealth of experience. I believe every sporting federation in Nigeria will actually enjoy the experience of Malam Shehu Diko. All we just need to do is to give him that support. All right, we have Ephraim Okpanachi joining us on the show this morning. We also look at this under 18 boys doing well at the IHF African Trophy competition in Ethiopia. Ephraim, welcome to 360 Sports. Yes, the boys did so well. Coach Emeka Namani, who is the coach of the side, he has made a very strong statement into the final as we speak. That final comes up this afternoon. What are your expectations? And so far, so good. What have you seen with these fantastic young lads making the country proud, far away Ethiopia?
Well, thank you very much for having me. It's always good to know that our boys can go, or our girls can go and give a good account of themselves, like they've done. But in the final, anybody can win. So I don't want to just keep the expectation levels very high, because to get to the final, you have to cross lots of hurdles. And having done that now, well, let me just say, may the better side win.
Okay, may the better side win. Is it that you don't have faith in the boys?
Like I said, we've been to a final in January this year, and we had so much expectations, and we lost. In the final, anything can happen. So we hope they win, but if they don't, I'm still proud of what they have achieved so far.
Okay, but what is your assessment of Coach Emeka Namani with these guys? I think when it comes to handball, we can hold our own right now, considering the man at the helm of affairs, Sam Ocheho, the man they call the digital president.
Yes, in previous shows, I've talked about the fact that the North Africans have been very good in these kinds of, combat sports or team sports, if you like. And gradually, it looks like we are working on our turf. We are able to get the right decision so far. And Namani has done quite a good job. Everyone you've mentioned there, they've given a good account of themselves. But I just don't want to be modest. When you go into a final, you expect to win, but the other party also expects to win. So generally rating them, they have done well. He has been able to manage the side very well over the past couple of weeks.
Okay, they've been able to manage the side over the couple of years. That game comes up at 3 p.m. in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. They will be taking on Guinea. We wish them well, like Ephraim said, we should just sit on the fence. The other side also wants to lift the trophy. Nigeria also wants to lift the trophy. Let the better side win. But as for me, as a Nigerian, I want my country to smile home with the gold giant trophy. All right, still talking about our teams doing so well in the continental assignment. This time around, we'll leave handball and talk women's basketball. It is the FIBA Women's Basketball League Africa Zone 3 qualifiers. Nigerian Customs ladies, Panachi, I'll start with you on this. Nigerian Customs ladies triumph over Benin Republic. They defeated the team in that particular, they defeated, that is their Benin Republic counterpart by 58. That is Energy Basketball Team of Benin Republic, 58 to 39 baskets. That was what the Custom ladies, we know we have two of them, Custom ladies and then the MFM, who are the champions of the Nigerian Women's Basketball League. Customs, they are the runners-up for this season.
Well, from the time we went to the each under an indigenous coach and gave a good account of ourselves like we did at the last international tournament, there's a lot more belief among basketball managers, among basketball teams that yes, if we can go to the Olympics, go to the World Cup, go to a game and perform at this level, then there is hope. So we are expecting them to be able to also follow with that kind of spirit. We saw it happen with the senior team, the D Tigress. And I believe also that they have learned a thing or two. There's that confidence. I think that's what's working for the Nigerian side at the moment.
Okay, for the Custom ladies, they were runners-up to MFM at the end of the final 8 of the Women's Basketball League in Lagos. And MFM is also a strong side when it comes to basketball, both male and female. Getting this win, what does it really mean for MFM themselves? Who are the champions of Nigeria Women's Basketball League?
Well, you see, I did say earlier on that the feat achieved by the senior team spurred on all other teams, believing that, yes, we can go and make a mark, whether it's at the regional level in West Africa or it's at the entire continental level. So it means a lot, just to directly answer your question. And it is serving as a building block on where to start from after now. When you win domestically and you've won the league here in your country, how do you compete with those who are, playing in different leagues that are not the one you're familiar with playing at home? So it's exposing them, number one. Number two, it's giving them the ability to test their strength and see how good they are on the African continent. So for me, they can only get better going forward.
Okay, they can only get better going forward. Now, Wilfred, if you look at the military, paramilitary, they have actually contributed immensely to the development of sports in Nigeria. And I wonder what other sectors are doing to see that, yes. Because if we say, let's be mentioning those athletes, players, names that whether a military officer, a police officer, or just to mention one example is Julius Agawa. If you remember Nigerian Ghana 2000, he came on board. Remember that goal against Senegal? He was the one that took us to the, I think, semi-final of that competition. Now, we have a lot of them. Now, Customs team. Custom has a basketball team, both male and female. They also have a handball team. They have a volleyball team. That means, I don't know, what is it that other sectors don't really want to look at what these guys are doing? Because sports is something that everybody likes, yes, and is a unifying factor.
Exactly, you said it all, because I was just going to say, if there's one sector that has actually, contributed immensely in the development of sport in Nigeria, should be the paramilitary, because of considering the likes of Julius Agawa, Samuel Peters from the Nigerian Police Force, who went on to, represent Nigeria, in the heavyweight boxing, championship against the famous Vitaly Klitschko. Yeah,
Samuel Peters.
Yeah, and now this shows that the Nigerian customs are not just known for clearing of duties, containers, and border control. As well as
they also control other in sport.
In sport, and these are things that actually, enhance the development, social development in a country. If you go to Ethiopia, you see Ethiopia Coffee, you see Ethiopia Cement. A lot of these companies and sectors, playing a huge role into sport, development, and that's a very pretty one for any country that indulges in such act. Then coming down to Nigeria, of course, the MFM they've actually also proven to us that their duties beyond the healing and deliverance.
Yes, of course.
They've also they are the current champion, and they are also representing the beautiful colors of Nigeria, and also the Nigerian female custom. So it's one thing that we should channel our attention on, trying to support them and trying to improve on their weaknesses, and see how we can come together collectively and improve our public sector who are into sport.
Okay, just how to improve all these. Other sectors should also learn, take a leaf from the paramilitary and military, and also some other private sectors who are doing too well, to see how they can contribute to the development of sport. Yes, it's just, I think sport is one tool we can use to at least even give employment, do other things for the teeming youth of Nigeria. Kudos to the paramilitary and military for actually doing its best to see that sport, because I remember a friend of mine who joined the police force. It was through sport. He was a footballer, and he had that opportunity to become a police officer through football. So we can, other sectors can also borrow a leaf from these sectors and contribute to our sporting development, and also improve on our living standard in Nigeria. All right, let's leave the FIBA and then the Women Basketball League Africa, which Customs and MFM, the very best in the African zone. 3 qualifiers. They have to qualify from that zone proper to play in the Women's Africa Basketball League, just the way Rivers Hoopers did last season by coming back home with the bronze medal, the first Nigerian basketball club side to get to that stage. Now we'll talk Super Eagles. Yes, Okpanachi, I'll start with you. For the NFF, they've submitted the Super Eagles list that the players that are going to do battle against Benin Republic and Rwanda in the last 2 games for the Africa Cup of Nations 2025 qualifiers. Super Eagles already, they've qualified with 10 points. But now we still have these 2 games to play. And then, like I said, already we are through to Morocco 2025.
Yeah, after that award of 3 points and 3 goals following the boycotted game against Libya by the Confederation of African Football, now the qualification is now sealed, but then you still have to prosecute, you call them dead rubber games. It's of no consequence for Nigeria, but they still have to prosecute those games. Gosling Wavon has done quite a good job in his 3rd time around, if you like, coming as the interim coach or stopgap coach for the Eagles. And I think he just needs to continue with that. He should not let down his guard now to say, okay, we have qualified. He still has to go out there and make a mark, because this will also serve as a bit of a fine tune for the qualifiers for the main World Cup where he's struggling. So kudos to NFF and the team for qualifying for the Afcon, but then they need to go about it professionally so that they can start preparing for the 2026 World Cup.
Okay, definitely. Now, Austin Ugwevon still have opportunity. Now, in these 2 dead rubber games, these games are already, they are games for us to spare, because if we lose the 2, we are in Morocco. What it means, the 2 teams that needs this win is Rwanda and Benin Republic. They need these 2 games very well. But if we look at it, from your own end, what do you think Austin Ugwevon should do? The players will fly directly to Abidjan. They will not come down to Nigeria. From their various bases in Europe, they will fly down to Abidjan. But from your end, Austin Ugwevon, what kind of setup do you really want to see with these 2 games?
As my co-analyst, Mr. Ephraim Okpanachi has rightly said, many people may consider this as a dead rubber encounter. But then a lot is involved. One, we're going there for a revenge against the Benoans, because the same Abidjan was the place they upset us.
Yes, of course.
Yes, and we have to, pay back for that. We have to give them payback for that. And also, there are some players who have not really had enough playing time, and I think this is the right channel for them for the coaches to actually give them, the chance to express themselves and to show what they've got in them. And a point from the board games, we further cement our stay at the summit of the log. So I think it's also very important that we don't take these 2 games for granted.
Okay, it's very important we don't take these 2 games for granted. But would you like to see the regular faces?
For me, it does not really matter, because one eagle is as good as another. So whoever is called an eagle should be capable of giving a good account of himself. And also, I don't think anybody is there by a mistake or chance. It's about your quality. It's about your competency and what you do in your club that earns you an invitation to a national team. So what I'm just trying to say is most of the players, there are some players in the team that have not really had enough playing time. So I think that this is the right time for the coaches to give them that chance to express themselves, so that they will further understand that, okay, with this player, with this kind of we have, don't forget, somebody like Onyedika.
Has not really had playing time.
Yeah, so these are right for Onyedika. So these are players that should be given the nod to go on and start this game, so that we can Nigerians will also watch them and know that this is what they're capable of giving.
Okay. Also, those players who has not really had the chance to give enough time in the Super Eagles, this is an opportunity, and I believe they'll take it with their 2 hands and grab it quickly, and then do at least show what they can do in case if Mr. A is not there, Mr. B, I can step up. That is what it means. It means it shows competition and quality and team depth when you have a quality bench. All right, let's leave the Super Eagles and talk about the Super Falcons. Yes, it's all preparations for the African Women's Nations Cup in Morocco come next year, and in that the NFF is doing all they can to see how we can also have home base integrated with the foreign stars, though we have no coach yet, just an interim coach, that is Justin Madugu. The story this morning is that Nigerian Super Falcons set to face France Le Bleu in a friendly game. They were playing this team in a friendly game, and I think it's a grade A friendly. Opanachi for the Super Falcons, they are still trying to pick some players who can really compete with the foreign-based stars. And when this story popped up yesterday, I said yes, it is a good one coming in from the NFF for accepting this invitation to play the French national women's team.
Absolutely spot on. It's a very good move for them, and I really love what Madugu and his team are doing at the moment. About 10 years or so, the likes of Asusat were discovered, from these types of friendlies in Lagos. It's been a while Nigeria had not had a friendly, but just a couple of weeks ago, we played 2 matches against an African opposition, I think Algeria. We played them in 2 friendlies here in Lagos. So this is the way to go for the NFF, to ensure that the girls are in the right frame of mind. When assignments come, they can go and execute them properly. And then playing against a top-rated side like France, I think it's a very welcome development. It will make the girls see exactly where they are at the moment, even out of competition.
Okay, where they are at. After this story, we will be bringing the highlights of that game against Algeria, the Green Ladies of Algeria. We just have a little attraction of what those guys did to the Algerians in that particular game. But before then, for the Super Falcons, what Justin Madugu is doing right now, after they let go of Randy Wardrum, because I personally would have loved Randy to continue, but Justin Madugu is doing a great job. Now, moving forward against France, and after that game, what do you think NFF should do for the Super Falcons? Should they stick with Justin Madugu, or still go for a foreign coach, or look for our own indigenous coach, ex-Super Falcons player? We have a lot of them who actually gone through coaching course. They did that, about 30 of them, the likes of Precious, Dede and co, here in Abuja some months ago.
The case of Coach Madugu is as same as that of Mr. Austin Iguavon. So
yes, of course.
We can say it's like like father, like mother. The Falcons are having the same issues as the Super Eagles. And then being an interim coach means you stand a chance to have the permanent D or to be let go. And I think nobody will see an opportunity as good as that of being a head coach of Super Falcons and want to let it go for another person to step into. And so far, with what he has done, he has been able to achieve. I think he's done incredibly well because we could see the outcome of the friendly game against the Algerian ladies, and then now we just have a match again to play against the Les Bleus of France, which is a very good quality one, a great one, friendly for that matter. So. Because also viewing from the point of what Coach Randy was able to do in the Olympic Games with the Falcons, I think any coach that comes in has a very huge task, to follow, and I think it's what the interim coach is trying to do. So, and trying to bring in a lot of fresh legs, the home-based players, trying to integrate them into the team is actually a very good one, and that shows that he actually knows what he's doing. And I think in the end of the day, he's able to secure the job permanently.
Okay, at the end of the day, he can secure the job permanently. Justin Madugu is trying to give the home base a chance where they can compete with their foreign-based counterpart. Like you heard from Wilfred, Randy Waldrum has actually set a standard with that team. So any coach coming in just need to maintain that standard, the winning mentality. They are playing as a team despite what they played at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. I think that team did well at the Women's World Cup. Yes, in that group, difficult group against Spain, Brazil, and Japan, nobody actually gave Super Falcons the chance to go out of that group or even play what they played against the three teams I just mentioned at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. But for Justin Madugu, all we need, just get the best leg in the Nigerian Women's Football League for the Super Falcons. We'll be right back. Let's just take some highlights of that game against the Green Ladies of Algeria in a double-header friendly. They scored 6 goals in that game, 2 in the first leg, courtesy of Ajibade goals right there in Ikene. And then the return leg was played at the Unicom Stadium in Lagos, where Bendel insurance striker Ijamilusi scored a hat-trick before Monday Gift got the 4th goal in that game. Let's take parts of that game and we will be right back to go straight to Europe. It is the Champions League night last night.
In terms of the position on the scoreboard, the man tries to slip in. Monday Gift to his onside for the first goal. Brilliant goalkeeping, Salah Amel, not to be denied, this time by the UD Tenerife striker, I beg your pardon. But that's the first danger for Algeria that Nigeria poses. Oyenezide, she's going to be responsible for dictating play in the middle of the park for Nigeria. And there's going to be a little battle between her and Sabrina for Algeria, as well as Buzet Wissem, who just plays behind the striker. Monday Gift, well brought down on the chest. She has to take away a man, Morgan, using support from Oliviera. Esther, Rashidat, Folorunshaw. A good one-touch pass from Osigwe. She gets it back from Shukra and is dispossessed. A good turn. Just showing her sharpness and dispossessing the defender. And Nigeria get it on the corner. Well, this time another in-twinger from the far side. It's going to come from the boots of Esther Oyenezide, the former Robo Queens midfielder. Oh, crosses deep. Goalkeeper gets it on the second attempt. Already been come to action once. Salah Amel in goal for Algeria, showing a sharpness to get to the ball before Monday Gift. Demain, our defensive partner in comfort for Lawrence. Here's Comfort. Monday Gift, great touch, able to beat our marker Mogane. She's got space, but our cross is really too heavy and rolls out of play for a throw-in to Algeria. Could have done better, should have done better. Well, the Nigerians are looking quite faster and stronger than their Algerian counterpart, and that pace has worked for the Nigerian side quite a couple of times over two legs. Come forward. The main. Well, good first touch from Oliviera. Now Oyenezi.
Yes, that's a part of the game between the Green Ladies of Algeria in a friendly. That game was played at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena in Lagos. It ended 4-1 in favor of the Super Falcons. So let's see if they can carry that form against the Le Blues of France. Quickly before we move to Europe, I believe maybe this time around, coach, the interim coach, that is Justin Madugu, might just invite the bulk of the foreign-based players. They mix with some of the best legs he has seen from this friendly against Algeria.
You're very correct. I think he has actually used these two friendly games to to fish out for fresh legs and to see who is fit for the for the team. And for me, as I said, I hope at the end of the day he does fantastically well and good enough to be given the job. And I think he won't take that chances for granted or compromise it for anything. So let's see how who he's going to draft in for the game against the Le Blues of France.
Okay, that game will be coming up at the end of this November. We keep our fingers crossed. We keep tabs on that game, and then when the list is out for those that will play that friendly games, we'll definitely bring it on our sports shows. All right, let's go straight to Europe. This time around, we talk the UEFA Champions League. Opanachia will be coming to you. Yes, it was a surprising result. The league format this time around, it's as if the big boys are finding it difficult to adapt to the new life, to the new format of the UEFA Champions League. The two big teams last night fell short. Well, let's come up with the results quickly before you react to it, and also we'll look at the table later on. We have PSV of Netherlands beating Girona 4-0. Slovian Bratislava lost to Dynamo Zagreb 4-1. Bologna also lost at home to AS Monaco 1-0, and Borussia Dortmund Sturm Graz 1-0. Celtic of the Scottish champion beat German strong opposition RB Leipzig 3-1. Luxley of France and Juventus played 1-1 draw, and Liverpool Order and Slot doing so well right now, courtesy of Diaz, a hat-trick in that game, 4-0 against Bayern Leverkusen. Xabi Alonso was welcomed back to Anfield with a defeat, and then Real Madrid surprisingly at the Santiago Bernabeu, the White Angels couldn't fly high. They lost to AC Milan 3-0. Surprisingly, we have a Nigerian that actually scored in that, though he's not playing for Nigerian, Tijani Regindas. And then we have Malik Chow getting part of the score sheet, and Morata, who has scored goal against Real Madrid more than any other player, as in he also played for Real Madrid, 7 goals against Real Madrid right now in his playing career. And Sporting CP, Ruben Amorim, his last game in charge, trashed Manchester City 4-1. He's telling Pep Guardiola, we still have scores to settle. December 12th in the English Premier League, but we are not looking at that. Ephraim, surprising results in the UEFA Champions League, and it's as if the league format is not really favoring some team, or is it that what they expect, they are not seeing it this time around?
Well, I'll start with Manchester City. Each time Rodri doesn't play for Man City over the past couple of seasons, they have traditionally struggled. Now, this is the third game on the bounce Man City has lost. They lost in the League Cup, they lost in the Premier League at the weekend, and again, they have lost in the Champions League. So it is not a good time for Man City. And one of the reasons why Rodri is injured, and whenever he's injured like that, these things don't go well for them. Then you talk about AC Milan and Real Madrid. These are traditionally strong teams, powerhouses of European football, if you like. But Madrid also not having the best of moment right now. After that loss to Barcelona, they appear to have lost their rhythm. And then losing to an AC Milan side that is not particularly firing on all cylinders, it looks like the shock of the pack. But for Man City and Sporting, I wasn't surprised because they've been struggling. Now 3 matches on the bounce. And for Anslot, very good result. That's what you expect for them. So I'm not really surprised with the results. It's just that it looks like these big teams, like you say, appear to be finding it hard to adapt to this new format.
Okay, Wilfred, if you look at it, all of a sudden, you heard it from Oponachi. Now, the big teams, is where some of these smaller teams might just be afraid of. But what is your own take on match day 4 in the UEFA Champions League? The games continues tonight. Definitely, we'll bring it on the other show evenings. But for the games played last night, what is your own take on those games? Especially because right now, though AC Milan is also a big team, they are among the highest winner of the UEFA Champions League. Real Madrid, AC Milan, and Bayern Munich. These 3 teams, Liverpool has won the Champions League more than any other team.
The result against Real Madrid, the Los Blancos, was actually it can only be defined as a surprised one, because it was right in front of their home crowd, the Santiago Bernabeu. But then AC Milan, as you say, the Rossoneri, they are not a small team. They have as far as the history of the championship is concerned, they have a series of trophies, in their locker room, and defeating Real Madrid in their home crowd was a surprising one because nobody saw that coming. Because considering the fact that Real Madrid has just gotten Kylian Mbappe that they've always wanted to have, so everyone should expect that they were going to come out unbeaten in the whole of their outings. But unfortunately, football is one game that is full of surprises. It's a game that impossible is almost nothing. So yeah, it was just last night was just one of the few surprises that we saw. And then for Man City, I think. As Opanachi has said, I think anytime Rodri is sidelined with injury,
include what's his name, their captain, that is the Belgian man.
Yeah, but I think Rodri is actually the key man to the team, and anytime he's sidelined, the team always struggles. So I think they are actually having a tough moment, a tough time at the moment. But we hope. Guardiola, as is a professor in the game, is a technician, a wonderful man, a philosopher in the game, and I hope he finds a better way to resolve the issues or whatever the challenges are, for Haaland to start, scoring more goals again. And for Sporting Lisbon, I think the man is telling Manchester United that, look, you are going to have a gaffer that you always know that after Alex Ferguson, there's also another person to, bring a good smile to the faces of the Manchester fans. And then I think from there, there will be a revival of the Manchester, the rivalry between the City and the Manchester United.
Yes, he drew the first blood last night in Portugal. Far away Sporting CP and Ruben Amorim. Yes, he will meet Pep again December. The first leg between Manchester United and Manchester City in the EPL. That was his last game in charge for Sporting CP. All right, we'll just quickly take the table and we'll be right back. Games continue tonight, like I said. Let's have the table quickly and we will be right back to take more stories before we go out of the show. Let's have the table now. Yes, we see on the table, Liverpool at the top of the UEFA Champions League group stage right now, and also they are topping the EPL. But let's see how it goes. It's just 4 games. Other teams will also play their own 4th game tonight, and we'll also bring you the result on our show. Now, this time around, let's go to the biggest franchise in the world, talking about the NBA. We'll look at the result, but this quick one, where Joel Embiid has been sanctioned by the organizers of NBA for pushing a journalist, a sports journalist, because I don't know why, because he was asked some questions concerning his form, his family life, and what have you. He has to just push the journalist. Quickly, Okwanachi, in the 10 seconds, react to it. You are a sports journalist, and these things is not what is welcome. It's not. You don't do that as a player, as a star, as a role model to people out there. And now he has been banned for 3 games. Even when he's not even playing because he's out injured?
Well, the rules are very clear. There are certain things you don't do, and he knows better. Embiid shouldn't have done that. You said in 10 seconds. The rules are clear. He breached the rules, and he knows what is coming for him. That's just my take on that.
Okay, he knows what is coming for. He was the most valuable player in 2023, that is last year. But for Joel Embiid, pushing a journalist, that wasn't welcome at all. Let's quickly have the result, the NBA games that were played. Let's look at the full result, and then we'll move over to the next story. Milwaukee Bucks lost to Cleveland Cavaliers just by 2 points, 114 to 116. Golden State Warriors 125 against Washington Wizards, who has 112 points. LA Lakers lost to Detroit Pistons 103 to 115. Boston Celtics beat whitewash Atlanta Hawks 123 to 93 points. Memphis Grizzlies lost by 2 points to Brooklyn Nets 104 to 106. And we have Sacramento Kings by 1 point beating Miami Heat 111 to 110, and Utah Jazz also defeated Chicago Bulls 135 to 126. New York Knicks lost at home to Houston Rockets 109 to 97. That is Charlotte Hornets also lost they were whitewashed by Minnesota Timberwolves 140 to 93, and Oklahoma City Thunder also showed their thunderous outing against Orlando Magic, who their Magic did not come up in the night, where they lost 86 to 102 against Oklahoma City Thunder. All right, before we go, okay, we have other Portland Trail Blazers defeated New Orleans Pelicans 118 to 100 points, and then we have Indiana Pacers 134 to 127 against Dallas Mavericks points, and then Toronto Raptors also lost to Denver Nuggets 119 to 121 for Denver Nuggets. Philadelphia 76ers, where Joel Embiid is playing for, lost to Phoenix Suns 116 to 118, and LA Clippers actually clipped San Antonio Spurs 113 to 104. Those were the results for NBA. And before we go on the show, let's talk tennis, a little bit of tennis quickly. It's good news for Coco Gauff, where she has advanced to the next phase of the Women's Tennis Association end of the year competition, beating world number one Iga Swiatek in that rare win. Quickly, Okwanachi, for Coco Gauff, she got the better of a woman who has beaten her blue and black in the past.
Well, Coco Gauff, when she started out as a 15-year-old, she was rated as the next big thing. And finally, it looks like it's coming to gel for her. I'm very happy for her professional advancement to be able to get this one in the bag.
Okay, she actually won that game 6-3, 6-4 to join Arina Sabalenka, who might just take over from Iga Swiatek in the coming days as world number one in the world for women. All right, that is where we'll be leaving it on the show. Thanks, Wilfred, for joining, for coming on 360 Sports. It's good having you around.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Fash.
And to you, Okwanachi, good one from your end, joining us on 360 Sports this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, that is it on the program. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. Say thanks for watching.